Hi everyone, Nick Bronsozian here. I've been lending for over 20 years. However, more importantly, over $1 billion worth of home loans. Why and how? People trust me. People understand that I respect them, I understand their situations, and want the best for the client. So if you need a trusted lender, contact me and we'll get the deals done for you in a timely manner with great customer service. Thank you.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. It's always a pleasure for you guys to check us out. The Real Estate Experience with me, TRAVON Smith. Today we got a special show. I appreciate each and all of our guests, but this man I've been trying to get a hold of, contacting his people, contacting him. So it's definitely a pleasure because I believe it's a lot of information on this show that people will get a chance to use, and a lot of realtors will now have a new, lending company. The one and only Nick. How do I say your last name again, boss?
Bronsozian.
Bronsonian. Say it again.
Bronsozian.
Bronsonian. Okay, we're gonna call him Nick, the home guy. So I always like to start off to pick your brain and say, however you want to sum it up. How did you get involved in lending? Was it something that your family did, or something you just merged into right away because you knew what you wanted to do? What made you get involved in lending?
Sure, that's a great question. And just like when we were in high school or in college, nobody really knows where their life path is going to end up at.
Mhm.
And some people get into a certain profession, they go to school for it. I honestly just got lucky. I was in a pharmacist type field that I was kind of looking into. And all of a sudden, one of my good friends called me and said, "Hey, we heard about the mortgage business." And I said, "What? I have no idea what mortgages are." He's like, "I think you'll do really good. Just come down. There's a company called Countrywide Home Loans that is looking to hire, good salesmen like yourself." So sure enough, I went down for an interview and got the job. And day one, I just had an incredible passion and love for this business. And genuinely, I really love what I do, helping people and figuring out loans that other people can't. And it really just gives you that credibility and appreciation of the craft of this business. And there's some good players in the business. There's some mediocre, and then there's top 1% producers. So it's just like you play in the high school level, you play in the college level, you play in the semi-pro level, and then you play in the NBA. So I'm glad that God gave me the opportunity to be able to play in the NBA, and I've never looked back. Just love what I do.
I definitely appreciate it. It's two things I want to let people know after that. Anytime anybody's dealing with the pharmaceutical business, you got to have some kind of brains. So I know you it's definitely smart. And, I pick your brain a lot from your social media. You drop a lot of free information for people to see exactly what's behind the loan process. And I think some people might just go ahead and swipe by and not understand the value that you're giving, especially with a man with over $1 billion in home loans. So people have to pay attention, need to pay attention. I want to talk to you a little bit about the creative side of the loan process. Somebody with you, with the knowledge that you have, it's not just, okay, put the loan in. And what's the creative tip? What's some experience you have with being creative, and how do you be creative with the loan process?
That's an incredibly great question, and it's a matter of really a couple of things. One is identifying what the file is and gathering as much information and getting a complete 1003. So you get a complete application, you ask the questions that other lenders don't want to ask, you turn over the rocks that other people don't want to turn, and you get down to the bottom of it, and which is, what is it? It's income related, it's credit related, it's asset related for down payments. Honestly, we're not scientists here. We're not trying to cure cancer. There's a certain formula and there's a certain box that these loans fit in. And it's a matter of knowing your guidelines. And over the years, from experience or just the passion that you have, you need to learn the business and know what box you're playing in. And if you can fit the loan in the box, and it could be now, it could be a month from now, 6 months from now. So kind of putting that game plan together, reviewing everything up front, and submitting a loan that I know 99.9% of the time it's going to close, or I won't submit it.
Got you. If you're just tuning in, we're talking to Nick, the home expert loan man, right here on the Real Estate Experience. I seen this morning, or maybe it was maybe a day ago, I'm not sure, new loan programs for doctor, nurses, engineer. Talk to us a little bit about that. Are these loan programs through your specific lending company, or talk to us? How do we, because I got some doctors and nurses I need to help out. So talk to me a little bit about how we can get those loans done.
Sure. I don't want to give all my secrets away.
I got you. You don't have to, just touch on the macro part of it. You don't have to go into too much detail.
Sure. So basically, there are other lenders like myself that are direct. We're not brokers. We have broker outlets as well too.
Okay.
But it's just a matter of knowing the guidelines and knowing which bank is going to accept which, right? So there's certain type of guidelines that Fannie and Freddie are going to honor, and then there's certain loans like non-qualified mortgages, like a bank statement type loan, or outside the box stated type loans, where you'll still be able to qualify for these niche programs. But just to kind of answer your question, no, not every lender has the programs that I have versus
the access
or Wells Fargo or anything else, because I've been in the business for over 20 years. Honestly, it's not about years in the business. I was just talking about this to somebody yesterday. Please, let's not flex on how many years we've all been in business, because the guy that has been in the business for 2 years and funded $500 billion worth of loans, doesn't matter. He's been in the business for 2 years. He's funding $500 million a year. So it's a matter of how much you fund, how well you know your products, your market, and that's what a lot of people don't understand is, I don't need to, for example, go get USDA loans, because I don't do USDA loans. Okay, I don't do bond loans. There's no bond loans around here in my market. My market is high balance. My market's jumbo, stated, bank statement, and outside the box loans.
Okay.
And I learned those products, and I learned which investor has what appetite. And based on that, we put the client in that program.
Always great information. I want people, go ahead and give your Instagram, because you drop a lot of knowledge on your Instagram, and you even put it on paper so they can see it. I screenshot all of them so I can study them and understand. When you talk about the breakdown, you give the interest rates, you give the taxes for the year. That's all valuable information. Go ahead and give them your Instagram if you can, please.
Sure. It's Nick Home Loans. Very simple. Nick Home Loans.
And he's not taking. Don't bring nothing to him if you ain't got your stuff together. I want to go and have a little fun right now. I want to talk a little bit. Hardest loan and easiest loan you've ever done?
Hardest loan, I would say somebody that has over 15 properties. We just recently closed a deal with somebody that has 17 properties. And the other layer of the hard part was that he also had 12 LLCs.
Okay.
So between the 12 corporations and the income that is getting moved over from one company to the next, and one lawsuit, another one has a positive, to be able to overcome those obstacles and do a loan for somebody with multiple properties, multiple businesses, that's one of the toughest loans that probably we do.
Okay.
The easiest stuff, that's easy. W-2 person with pay stubs and a W-2. That's a cookie cutter loan that we call it, and we slam dunk those deals in 10 days.
all day. I know you love some of those. Make your day go by a little faster. What's the biggest loan?
But your reputation in this business is built on the hard loans.
The hard loans.
The hard loans, and you build that reputation, and people know that Nick's the loan closer. You could trust him. He's going to close the deal. And when I take an application, I close the deal. That's
yes, sir. Or he's not taking it, ladies and gentlemen. I want biggest loan you ever did, if I may ask. Biggest loan you ever did?
45 million.
Hey,
I can't say who the client is, but
I know
it's a rapper, and we did 100% financing at 45 million.
Nick,
no money down.
No money down. Did you hear his name? Nick, the home closer. That's his new name. Some advice we can give to some experienced realtors and some loan officers, from from you troubleshooting it, things that you've learned, and you might just want to give them a tip, because a lot of loan officers, they got banks and lending companies, and they try loans for 4 or 5 times and they can't get it done. What may be some advice that you have for them?
Try once. If you have a problem, you're running into issues, give me a call. I'll advise you and guide you through the process. Even if it's not my deal, I'll gladly come in and help and be a good resource. Other than that, honestly, go to your internal company or go to a mentor, go to somebody that does a lot of loans and pick their brain. I mean, we're all here to help each other. And I don't look at it as competition, because I have my own certain market and everybody else has their own certain market.
Yeah.
And it's about respect and helping each other to get to the next milestone and approving these people, buyers that have been really gone through a hard time, to close their deal and get into the home that they want. So why not, ask for help, learn your guidelines, know who to go to and ask the questions to prepare that package well and submit it, and know what problems are going to come up. There's going to be maybe an income issue or history of their payment. You need to know what those obstacles are going to be and foreshadow the possible problems and have a solution for when those problems do pop up. So be 2 steps ahead of underwriting and know that, okay, if I submit this loan, there could be this issue, there could be that issue, and my comeback and my obstacle to overcome is this. And put a game plan together and almost like do a mock role play with an underwriter and say, well, there's a gap of employment. What's the gap of employment for? Explain that to them and give enough information to an underwriter up front so they don't ask you questions and they don't dig so much into the file and try to kill it, instead of coming up to you and say, hey, Nick, I had a question about this. You explained to me the employment history, but there was a couple of months that they didn't work or they didn't get the overtime. Can you just explain that? And the question always to an underwriter should be is, what can I provide you to approve my loan? Not go heads up against them and constantly say, well, I don't think you need this. I don't think I need to provide this. And this is getting too, personal for the borrower to provide. No, it's, what would you like me to provide in order for this file to get approved? And if you go at that angle, they'll tell you what to provide. And you can provide it and move on and close the deal.
Yeah, I noticed that, me as a home buyer myself, my first home, I kind of was like, I already gave that to you. I already gave that to you. And I knew I created more issues. With my second home, I was fortunate enough. I was like, hey, just shut up and do what they ask. Like, hey, I apologize. Maybe you didn't get that email with my driver license, even though we're about to close. I'll send that over right now. So it's just easier when you work with your lenders. And I think that's real important for realtors and other people in the real estate profession to understand, hey, they're trying to get the job done just as much as you. And if you want to get the job closed, it's only one person to call right here, Nick the Closer, with over $1 billion in loans. Hopefully I can continue this relationship with you besides our social media relationship. I want to ask you the hardest question of the day right here. Now, I know you was in the pharmaceutical business. I know I'm gonna have to use your brain. What's going to be the car after the Ferrari gets old?
It's a great question.
I know you have an idea, or you're looking at 2 or 3.
Yeah, you know me. I got a couple of nice little toys lined up. It's a great way to keep the motivation going. And even through hard times, honestly, I put a mindset for myself is I'm not going to pull back. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to pull back. I'm not going to budget. I'm going all out, 100%, and my work will determine what I get next. But
yes, sir. I just have to throw that at you. I already know you got something.
I love Ferraris. Might be another Ferrari. It might be, I don't know, a double R. We'll see. Whatever keeps it motivating. And I just honestly have an incredible passion for what I do. Every morning I wake up and I'm like salivating for the day. And just have fun while you're doing this business.
I tell you, man, I appreciate what you do for, like I said, follow him on Nick Home Loans on Instagram. He drops these pieces of paper that break down loans, And I was actually showing this to a new real estate guy, and he's working with $300,000, $400,000 loans, and he was like, "Man, this dude just said $200,000 down." I said, "This is what you have to understand in order to get there. If you just want to be the regular, whatever, and that's no disrespect to realtors, but I'm trying to understand what you're doing for the simple fact I need clients to drop $200,000, $300,000 down. I like that talk. I like the meetings. I like that board conversation. I want you to go ahead, man, and just give everybody your information where they can contact you, email, website, wherever you want to give, and we'll also provide it in the description of the show.
Sounds good. Let's do our Nick Home Loans. That's our handle for IG. And then my email is nick@thenickbteam.com. That's
Okay.
nickbteam.com. And then best phone number to reach me anytime is 818-266-8442. That's my personal cell phone. You can text me, call me anytime, and I always answer.
Man, Nick, I appreciate it. I really do. I really enjoy your videos you're doing now as well. I like what you're doing with that. Keep that going too. We're gonna drive traffic to you. I'm gonna do my best as well. And thank you for hanging out with us. I know you got to get on them phones. It's Friday. Most people got the day off, but my man's probably gonna close about 2 or 3 extra more deals today on a Friday. So I appreciate you, man. And hey, it's always a pleasure.
Likewise, God bless. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, boss.